want to say that my name's Mimi Evans, and I'm the owner-operator of Fearless Bookkeeping, and today we're here with Tori Kerlin of Tori Kerlin Designs. She is fantastic at marketing, and if you ever need somebody to help with your branding or marketing, you should definitely reach out to her. Today, what we're going to talk about is a little passion project of mine, and it's a little bit around culture and leadership. And I say a passion project because historically, accountants are very much known for being quiet, reserved. We don't communicate well, the whole nine. And I personally know different accountants that are different than that, and I just want to put a spotlight on we're more than just your accountants. Mm-hmm. Honestly, we're sometimes your therapist. We know more about a business owner than probably anybody next to their spouse. And so culture and leadership is very much a part of what we do every day. And we're just here to have a conversation about what that could look like.
Yeah. And yeah, once again, I'm Tori Kerlin. Mimi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So it's been interesting to get to know you and just learn a little bit more about what your passion projects are. And I've noticed that leadership piece is so important, and your experience with culture and just being in so many different environments as I've gotten to know you, which could be a whole nother podcast, all your jobs and things you've done in the past. But you've seen it. You've seen what works and what doesn't, and how leadership really can mean just getting on the level of the people we work with and showing that like authenticity.
100%. She points out I have a background, it's very interesting. So before I was in accounting, I was a correctional officer and law enforcement.
That gets me.
So different level of stresses and pressures, and honestly also very different outcomes. Leadership is actually, that's kind of really where I started. Not even really I don't really write about it. It's just really more thoughts, and I think through the different impacts that we have on people. And in the law enforcement environment, the decisions that you make, the connections that you make could literally define somebody's life. Like, you're in one of the most dangerous fields.
Yep.
And it's interesting when I left that to go into accounting, how little people care about it. They don't realize that, like, even though they're not in a life or death situation, that as a leader, you are responsible for those below you. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that, is always interesting to me is that when a company grows and scales and gets larger, it can sometimes lose that small team feeling. Absolutely. And the owners become disconnected. Like, they've kind of lost that understanding of what they go through on a day-to-day, make decisions without including them. Mm-hmm. And
the email responses become shorter. The conversation disappears.
All of it, right? And it's interesting. One of the things that I've read different books, right? So I spent a year, and I'll be honest, it wasn't like I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to choose to just spend a year reading books. No, I joined a program, and part of the leadership development program was we were reading a series of books, and a common thread across them all was the impact that employee satisfaction has on your profitability.
Yeah.
People don't want to admit it, that they think it's this idea of real money, fake money type of thing.
Yeah.
There's the real money cost of an employee, but there's also the investment that you make with training, building that relationship. Mm-hmm. Because here's the thing, when you have somebody on your team that is there for you, that supports you, my biggest thing I like to say is they want you to win. That's a huge difference. When an employee wants you to win versus is just there for a paycheck,
right?
The difference is noticeable.
Right.
They try harder. They talk more. They will open themselves up for different projects. Mm-hmm. Whereas somebody who's just there for a paycheck,
right? They like what they do, and they like their leadership.
Absolutely.
And that changes
everything. And so sometimes it's funny to me when you look at somebody's books and it looks like everything is going well. They're making money, there's cash in the bank.
Yeah.
But they're not really sure why they have all this turnover, or why there's this feeling of like there's something just not right. And a lot of times it has to do with that we've gotten so disconnected from what the employees deal with that we assume that we know what the issue is.
Right.
I'll put it in one of the examples is, I mean, I'm an accountant, so that's the best example I can use is everyone wants to use the word, it's just. It's just this, it's just that. Usually it's not just anything.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean,
there's a lot of layers.
Yes. And so not knowing what they have to do to get you the reports, to get you the invoices, and just assuming that they're doing this out of malintent can really hurt the relationship.
Right.
Really hurt the relationship.
And it's worth asking the questions like, how did we get here?
100%.
Why are we doing these things? And as you get to know someone, you get to know their intentions and things. Absolutely. And getting to know someone and giving them the ability to be themselves and show their talents and give them that piece of leadership allows retention, because I'm going to stay somewhere where I feel valued and I feel like someone knows me.
Absolutely. I don't I will I like to tell my kid and it's a saying that I have recently just started using a lot, and it's birds of a feather flock together.
Yep.
And it's true even with employees. They're going to go to the companies that they feel valued. And the best part about that, when they feel valued, they're talking about it. They're talking about it to their friends, their families, anybody who will listen. And that brings good people know good people. So if they're doing a great job and a job opening comes up, of course, they're going to want to bring their buddy because they're having a fantastic time.
Exactly.
You know?
Yep.
Who doesn't want to
walking testimonial?
Absolutely. And in the same vein, if it's not going well, they're a walking testimonial to others of, oh man, I'm thinking about applying at your company. I don't know if I would do that.
Right.
You know?
Right. Well, and they also have options to go wherever they want. And that's, I think a lot of companies are realizing that culture piece, that leadership piece is important now, giving your, employees the availability to take the time they need, to pick up their kids when they need, and knowing that and trusting them that they're going to get their job done. Whereas, if you have options and you're somewhere where you don't feel like you have all of that, I'll just find somewhere else that have some more flexibility.
Absolutely.
And I think that kind of goes into our next piece, that what do you think a great leader is that allows those things, that allows some of that? We've kind of talked about some of it already.
We have, yeah. And I think a great leader is a lot of things, honestly. A great leader is going to be others focused. They're very much worried about what they can do for others, not what others can do for them.
Right.
They're humble. One of the best leaders that I know is very curious. He asks great questions.
I remember you telling me that, and we did a whole post about it.
Oh,
it was really interesting.
Because it is true. I mean, we don't know what we don't know, and assumptions will kill. Assumptions will kill a relationship probably faster than anything else.
Right.
And so being curious enough to ask the questions is huge. It's very huge. And the other thing that I would probably say a leader is that they're transparent. And that's something that probably I get more flack about than anything else. I am not a normal leader in that sense. I am probably more transparent than others would think that I need to be.
Yeah.
I am also a person that has very much experience that the more I know and I'm committed to something, the better I can do and solve problems.
Yeah.
So I believe that transparency shows other people that I'm a business owner, but I'm no different than anybody
else.
You're also
a human being.
100%. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. And being transparent about that is very important to me.
Yeah.
And the only other thing that I would say, and this is definitely going to ruffle feathers, I do believe that leaders have a level of faith within them.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. I believe in God. I recognize that not everybody does. And even if you don't believe in God, you believe in something. Leaders without any kind of faith to anchor them really will just
something bigger.
Oh yeah, they're just gonna float. They're gonna go with the next big trend,
right?
And there's no
what's the purpose?
Right. If it's just to make money, I gotta be honest. There are way other ways that we could make money without the stress of being a business owner.
Yeah,
And it's also beyond even just business. When you're talking about being a leader in your home, your ability to parent your children, honestly, is kind of, in my opinion, is directly related to your faith. Because if you don't believe in anything, your children won't believe in anything. And what is that? It's that saying of if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for everything.
Right.
And that really does, that hurts our children. It really, in my opinion. And that's just mine.
Well, I'm a mom too, so I totally understand that. And quickly learning how important that is, like I guess not really realizing what a leader you are in your own home and how that translates into your everyday life. But we're creating that next generation of, business people or people that are in our day-to-day world that have that ability to lead people and have faith. And, however their upbringing is what they're going to turn out to be.
Absolutely. I'm transparent with my own kid.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Like, it's not, when I say transparency, faith, all of these things, it's not just in the business sense.
Right.
Like, for me, I started applying a lot of the leadership tactics at home first. I started investing time with my son.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is we have a Wednesday. We've been doing this since he was in 5th grade, by the way.
Love that.
It is my favorite day of the week. It started with just some donuts in the morning, and that was it. And now it's coffee and a little bit of breakfast, maybe lunch if he's out of school.
Yeah.
But he knows every Wednesday. He has gotten to the point where he's like, "So where are we going this Wednesday?"
He's prepped. Yeah.
He knows, and I'm transparent. He knows when I am going through something. Now, I'm not saying that I'm giving him every nitty-gritty detail. But I'm also not just telling my kid that it's none of his business. Because to a degree, some things may not be, but a part of it is that he just wants to understand why I'm upset. Why am I so excited?
Right.
Right. And I think
because he's learning from you.
Absolutely.
You're in your house, you're providing that mentorship, which then again finds that's something that ends up being important, or do you think it's important in inside the business?
Facts, 100%. In fact,
it's easy for us to mentor our kids.
Oh yeah, because we birthed them.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah,
they don't have a choice.
No.
But how important do you think it is that leaders get on that level with their employees and invest in the legacy really of your business and what that looks like?
I think it's honestly more important than business owners will take attention to. And there's kind of a few different ways that I look at that. One, a very good friend of mine, she uses the word, a compass, that we all have a life compass.
Yep.
And the north is your mentor. It's the person that's mentoring you and teaching you. Your east and your west, those are your peers, the people that are on the same level. And your south, that's you going and pouring into the next generation, your employees.
Right.
So I think it's absolutely critical in all of our lives in business. I'll also say that it's how you and I met. You and I met through
mentorship program.
Absolutely. They did a mentor match at Greater North Fulton Chamber, and I had never networked a day in my life. And I walk up to Tori and I say, "Hi, I've never networked before." And she says, "We just did."
It's like, that's what it is.
Absolutely. And I never would have gotten that chance if I hadn't been a part of the program. To this day, Cheryl Blase and we get lunch, we'll get dinner, we'll catch up. She'll email and check in.
She sees the importance of that investment.
She does. And she does it with her employees, which is, the way I have rarely seen an owner take the amount of time that like Cheryl does. And I see it benefit her, not just in the book side, but honestly, her team is tight. They all like each other. They love they want to work together. They love Cheryl.
Work hard for a purpose. They've been invested into. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's interesting. I just had a meeting with a new employee, and she was like, "Well, you could be my mentor." And I was like, "That's so professional," but it's needed. Like, I want to give back, and I'm a young person that's lived a lot of life, and I know from personal experience the difference that it can make. I've seen it. I've been a part of it. I just having somebody who's been there before is
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about in marriage too. Like,
Yes.
I mean, marriage is, I don't know who told you this, but marriage is not easy. Don't believe it. It's hard. And it's not hard because your spouse is difficult. It's hard because you made a commitment to love somebody and nobody else will understand it like another married person. But if you keep it to yourself and you keep yourself closed off, you have no transparency, you'll always feel like it's hard because it's your spouse. And no, it could be you. It was me.
Yeah.
I couldn't communicate. And so.
Right. And that comes from, the way you were raised and your experiences. And
Facts.
makes total sense. And what a waste that we don't reach out to other married people or other people in business that are doing the same things that we want to be doing.
Yeah.
And learn from them, because why reinvent the wheel?
Yes.
You know?
It's almost like the other thing I would say is instead of seeing other businesses as competitors, why don't we see them as collaborators? Someone to partner with. Teamwork makes the dream work. We get further together than we ever will by ourselves.
Yeah.
Even my own mentor, she would help and offer to put me on projects. Now, mind you, I'm starting a bookkeeping business, but she didn't see it as me taking something from her.
No.
She saw it as her opportunity to pour into the next generation, the next ownership. And it's something that,
Yeah. Well, and if she finds value in her practice and the things that she's doing, it does nothing but benefit her and the things that she believes in, to pour that into you, to pour that into what the legacy is, whether it's in her business or not.
Absolutely.
And kind of see how that grows.
And it's interesting you bring up legacy. So we're really I've noticed a trend, and we all have noticed this. Private equity firms are coming in out of nowhere and buying businesses like crazy. And it's an interesting thing that the reason they're able to take advantage so much in these smaller businesses is because there's no legacy set up. Right. There's nobody to pass the baton to.
Right.
So they have options. They can sell for large amounts of money to private equity or just completely shut down everything that they have worked so hard to build over these years.
Yeah.
And it's without that legacy that makes it hard for them to not look at that private equity deal. Yeah. I mean, we're all human. We want money.
Yeah. We're looking out for our best interests. And
100%.
In the way that, however that falls. Let's switch gears completely.
Let's do it.
Talking about culture and leadership ability with the correct culture and people feeling like they can do, what they need to do to be successful. How do you feel about hybrid versus remote versus in-person work?
One of my favorite topics.
Actually. And where do you see benefits? Yeah, mine too. Yeah. Where do you see benefits to each and how they work?
So fun fact, I am an extroverted introvert. So I have a battery pack.
Yeah.
Once that bad boy is dead.
That's why we get along well.
Yes, it's gone. I was actually at a dinner one time and my friend saw it happen. Yeah. She saw me go from like, oh, this is so cool to you done? You ready? So I struggle with in-person. I'm not going to lie. And the biggest reason I struggle with in-person is families. That's the hardest part. Yeah. When I was working in person, it was hard because it's 9 to 5, but my kid has to be at school at 8. He's technically out at 3.
Made for a working parent.
It really isn't. It's not. And I want to be also clear that I'm not just talking about moms. I'm talking about dads too. Yep. It's interesting. We've seen dads becoming more and more involved in their kids' lives, and businesses are a little shooketh that it's not just the moms that are asking for time for their kids. It's the dads too.
Right.
That's where I lean more towards a hybrid. Okay. Hybrid gives us, because here's the other argument that I will say, there are benefits to in-person, specifically collaboration. Teams and Zoom is great. Don't get me wrong. But the flow of conversation is not as smooth as in person.
Right.
Especially if you have some people in person and some people on Zoom. The people that are on
there's
Zoom.
a disconnect.
There's that. Absolutely. But I also love fully remote. And the reason for it is because it gives us access to talent all over.
Exactly.
You know?
That's a great point.
And I would hate to miss out on the person that will impact my business more than anything, simply because they're in a different zip code.
Right.
So
and may work harder than anybody you would meet in person.
100%. And so I tend to lean more towards a hybrid or remote first. And that's where I kind of like not remote, only remote first, because that our primary reaction to things is to do things remotely. And that if collaboration is needed, that we plan it and schedule it and all come together at the same time.
Right.
We're doing it in Fearless right now. So we're a remote first company. And I mean, part of it is I have been able to create my office to be very comfortable and effective for me.
Yeah.
So I have a smooth turn on. I've got a routine. It makes it great. So we're remote first. However, we've brought on a couple of people, and I tried to onboard and train them remotely. And I have to say that was difficult, even for them. They're actually the ones who came to me and said, hey, like, this in-person training is doing me, I've learned more today than I've learned the entire week.
Yeah.
And so we are shifting a little bit and being flexible. And I think that's really where it comes into, is that business owners just need to be a little bit flexible and remember that no one is going to love your business as much as you are.
Right.
Point blank.
Yeah.
And because of that, you cannot have the expectation that somebody you hire is going to be as invested as you.
Right. And a great leadership perspective.
Absolutely. I just wish that, because what it also does is it empowers your team to believe that you trust them. And when they believe they got trust, that makes me think. There's this book. It's absolutely fantastic. The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni, and I might not be saying his name right. But in that book, there's a triangle, right, of what the pyramid of like a functional team would look like. And at the very bottom is trust. Because without trust, nothing else can happen. Right. Why? Because the next step above it is accountability. But you can't have a real accountability if I don't trust that what you're bringing to me is for the benefit of us. It feels like an attack if I don't trust you. Yeah. So having a flexible working schedule, flexible system, tells the employees that you trust them to do what's best. And it also says that you care about them.
Yeah. And you're willing to change as things come up.
Absolutely. Whereas COVID, I know a lot of people hate talking about COVID. There's, the political side of it or whatever. But what I really think that came out of COVID for me was this idea that, man, this life is short. There were fully healthy people passing away because of this sickness. Yeah. And the idea that I'm going to die with stuff on my to-do list, what I would, that was brought to me at the end of that leadership program. That was the statement that they ended with. You're going to die with things on your to-do list. That's a way to kick it off. But what I did is I spent a year after that question or that statement was made. I spent a year asking myself the question of, well, if I'm going to die with stuff on my to-do list, what am I not willing to have on that to-do list? Right. What I'm not willing to have on that to-do list is to get closer to my son. I don't want that still on my to-do list when I pass. Yeah. What I am willing to have on that to-do list is that email didn't get answered. Yep. If that's still unchecked when I die, fine. But if you're gonna, if there are items on that to-do list that are anything related to my family, I don't want to die with that on there at all. Right. And I think a lot of people came out of COVID with that mentality. They don't want to die.
Yeah. What's important?
Yes. And if what's important is my family, then that should be reflected in the decisions that we make.
Yeah. It was an unfortunate, bleak reminder of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was bleak. I'm going to die with stuff on my to-do list. I was like, wow. I mean, I get the reality of it. Man, that was.
It's reality.
Oh, yeah. It was, I am a person that has struggled with finding my value in work. Like, I see myself only valuable when I'm being productive.
Yeah.
I got into a car accident a couple years ago, and when I say I couldn't work, I couldn't work. My husband was probably very frustrated with me because I was more irritated at the fact that I couldn't work than anything else.
Yeah.
And it really did help me see that, wow, I don't know who I am outside of this.
Side of, your value in your career.
And that was a tough pill to swallow. And it continues to be a tough thing to like reconcile with because other business owners aren't there yet. There are some that will never get there.
Yeah.
And so when I tell them that I'm leaving early because my kid, a teenage boy who's almost 18, has something, they're like, oh, well, he's almost grown. And I'm like, I could care less.
Yeah. No, I needed my parents into my 20s. I still need my parents.
Right? I think that we think that, and this is where my law enforcement kind of really helped me see that this isn't life or death. Like business, it's important. Don't get me wrong. Like this is how we provide for our families. But the life or death decisions that I make that are going to hit my soul have to do with my family, my friends, and the community that I have.
Yeah. Very important. Well, I think we've touched on a lot. We've realized a lot about how leadership and family and transparency and all of those pieces, they just go hand in hand or it just doesn't work. Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
Yeah. The one thing I'd add is that make sure that the lens that you're making decisions of as a leader is not from a lens that only takes you into account.
Yeah.
The decisions that you make have a ripple effect. And so remembering that is quite important. And if anybody wants to talk to me about books or leadership stuff, culture, we'd love to have you on the podcast. We'd love to talk and chat and hear about your experiences because we've all got different ones. Some are great, some aren't great, and we learn from each other.
Absolutely. Well, Mimi, as we wrap up, how can our listeners connect with you for more info?
Absolutely.
Or, availability on the podcast or just anything.
We would love if you would like, subscribe, share, You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, not on TikTok. So sorry. Give us an email, shoot us a call. We would love to have you or chat with you and see what we can do.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thanks for being here, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.